Hello and welcome to this video on my Hanover LED display. It is a 144 by 19 dot display, and I just wanted to make this video to show off some of the bath blinds and also just how the destination blind works. I've just seen one of Central Norfolk Productions video which gave me the inspiration for this video, which he did some blinds on his flip dot display, so that was a very nice video, so you can go check that out as well. I have some green lights in the background just because the LED is a bit temporary, with cameras it's sometimes hard to capture, but that green light seems to stop it from messing up. But yeah, here we go. So we're going to get right onto it. So first of all, I'm just going to boot it up. So it will do its boot up process. So I'll just turn it on now. There we go. So it will do its boot up process. So it will turn on its little LED at the top left, and then it will turn off again, and then it will turn on its last that last display message that was displayed on it. So that was its startup process. I also wanted to show off the controller, so how it actually works. So I'm just going to move the camera over there to show off the controller quickly. So here is the controller, and this is how the board gets its information. So at the moment it's just showing not in service. So at the back, this is how the controller works. It has some pins. This one here is for power, so that's negative and positive. This one here is, sorry, that one there, not the top one, is for communication, so it's just got one little wire for communication to the actual board itself. So that's how that works, and basically it gives all the data to the board so it works. So to change it, you have to click the function button, and then you have to type in the route number. So we will do D1. So you have to click up, and then it will go to 0, so it's for 0, and it'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc, etc. And then when it goes up to 9, it will go to A, B, C, and then D. Oh, it's just gone a bit below. And then you'll have to click the left button, and then you can do that as well. So then you click up once, and it'll go to D1. You then click the enter button, and it will then show you all the possible routes for that route. So the D1 to Trowbridge, to Yarnbrook. Oh, it's just gone a bit blurry again. So to Yarnbrook, which is just shown on the board because I didn't change it quick enough. Yarnbrook, Westbury via Trowbridge, Hawkwood Link Road, Westbury Commerce Close, Haynes Road, etc, etc. So this one's got a lot of different endpoints. So you've also got Salisbury and Bath as well. So that is how, and then if you click enter, then it will change onto the board. So that is how the Derek Plus display works. There's still a lot of Derek Plus controllers in Bath. However, a lot of them are getting replaced by newer ones, such as the Eric Plus, which is very similar to this one, although it has all the numbers laid out instead of having to use these two buttons. And also the DG3, which is just a newer version of this one with an extra button that goes down as well. So if you accidentally type in the wrong thing, you don't have to go all the way around, so it'll go back down as well. So that is the controller. Now we're going to move on to some of the blinds of Bath. So I'm just going to reposition the camera again. So here we go then. So we're just going to start on the normal not in service. And then there's also just a generic first blind, so that one's also quite nice. There we go. So that's the first Bath blind as well. And we will move straight away on to some of the local routes. So the first one is the number 1, and the number 1 goes to Southdown. So this is the first one. So it's number 1 Southdown via Oldfield Park. And then, as you'll find with most of these, they all go back to the city centre as well. So there's the number 1 to city centre. So the next route is the number 2. And the number 2 goes to Mulberry Park. So there is the Mulberry Park one. So as you can see, like the typical Bath blinds, they got the they got the main destination going in the Arial font here, and then they have the via that goes down the side over here, so just via Prior Park, and then obviously the number as well. So that's like the style of the Bath blinds. And then we also have the 2 that goes to the city centre. So number 3 goes to Foxhill via Bear Flat. So these are just some more of the local routes in Bath. And then in the opposite direction, it doesn't go to city centre, it goes to Bath Ford. And we move on to the number 4, and the number 4 goes to Weston. Just waiting for that to change. So number 4 goes to Weston via the Royal United Hospital, and in the opposite direction it goes to Odd Down. So these new blinds have been rolled out in Bath to try and make it simpler for people to see, because they used to just use generic Super X blinds, you know, with the destination at the top, which is quite small, and then the scrolling along the vias. So they're not as clear as these. So you know, you can see that where it's the destination in bright, but is completely bold. So it's very. I do like this style. So it works quite well. Anyway, moving on. The number 5 goes to White Way. And on its return, it goes to city centre again. We also have the number 6, that goes to Fairfield Park via Camden. And again, on its way back, it goes back to the city centre. We have the 7, and that goes to Larkhall. So this is the circular route round Larkhall, which also goes via Camden. And then we have the number 8, which goes to Kingsway via Oldfield Park. And again on its way, but like most of these, apart from the 3 and 4, those are the exceptions, it goes back to the city centre again. And also have the number 9. This one goes to Upper Weston via Penley Road. And again, on its way back, it just goes to the city centre of Bath. All of these go back to the bus station. And then, surprisingly, there is no number 10. It used to go between the city centre and the uni while they rerouted the actual uni bus. But now that is gone, so they would just move straight on to number 11 because they rerouted the actual uni bus back to the city centre, so they didn't need the number 10 anymore. So here's number 11. That goes to Bathampton, and again on its way back it goes to the city centre. This is one of the routes that they've split up recently. So it used to be connected with the number 12 and just used to be called the number 12, and so it go through Bathampton, through the city centre into Haycombe. But as that happens with a lot in like Bath and Bristol, there's a lot of traffic, so they decided to split it up to improve punctuality. So here's the number 12 that goes to Haycombe that they split up from the number 11. And again, that goes back to the city centre. So the next route is one of the circular routes that goes around Bath. So it basically goes around in a massive circle. So it goes to the university via the RUH and the city centre. So it goes through. It basically just does a massive loop, and on its return it goes to Twerton. So this is the first of the not many routes in Bath have this, but it goes to multiple destinations. This is one that actually scrolls, or not scrolls, changes. So it goes to via city centre, via Weston, and via the RUH when it changes. So that's one of the one that actually changes. None of the other ones that do that. And then we also have the 42, and that goes to the Odd Down Park and Ride, but that's one of the local routes, so that actually goes between Odd Down and the Royal United Hospital. So that's the one that goes there. So it sort of, it's funny because it sort of has, like, you know, 1 through to 12, even though it misses out 10, sort of has, like, all the local routes have a sort of number pattern, and then you've just got the 20 and the 42 added extra. But as well as the 42 on the park and ride routes, there's also the 21, and that one goes between Newbridge and the city centre. So the rest of the park and rides go between the city centre and a park and ride, whilst the 42 goes between Odd Down Park and Ride and the Royal United Hospital. So that one's the 21 that goes to city centre. So as you can see, it has sort of the park and ride symbol instead of actually saying park and ride. So again, it's interesting because that's in bold. So again, it's a lot more seeable. Anyway, the 31 goes to Lansdowne Park and Ride, and on its return it goes to city centre. So city centre Park and Ride. And the final park and ride route in Bath is the 41, so it goes 21, 31, 41, and that goes to Odd Down Park and Ride, like the 42. However, it doesn't go to the IUH, it goes to the city centre. So finally, as well as all the local routes around Bath and the park and ride routes, there's finally the unibus routes. So we'll be going on to the unibus routes. So it might take a while to get to you, just because the control. I don't have a number pad. So we have the U1 that goes between the University of Bath and Green Park, which is in the city centre. So it goes a bit further than city centre, but just as not to confuse the students, they normally just show the city centre, although they do have a Green Park one programmed in, which is just really confusing. So they're trying to make it more clear, but sometimes it can get a bit messed up. So as well as the U1, there is also the U2, which also goes between. So the University of Bath is the more popular bus route, instead of there's also Bath Spa Uni, but that's not so popular. So the U2 goes between the University of Bath and Twerton. So this is another one that does it changes its blinds. So it will say Twerton via Coombe. It will say Twerton via Coombe via Odd Down. There we go. And via South Down, so all the downs in Bath. So Twerton via Coombe Down, Odd Down, South Down. And then as well as the U2, there is also the U3, and this is the last of the uni buses that go to the University of Bath. So the U3 also goes to the University of Bath. However, this one is direct, so it's University of Bath direct. And then we also have, it goes in the opposite direction to all of the student accommodation, so it goes to Oldfield Park direct. So that is the U3. Moving on to the final two routes of this video, which are the Bath Spa uni routes, and that will be the U5, which goes to Bath Spa Uni when it changes. Got a lot of destinations on here, so it takes a while to change because of the all the files. Bath Spa Uni, which also goes to the city centre. And And last but not least is the U6, which also goes to Bath Spa Uni. And on its return it goes to Twerton Mill, so does again a circular around the student accommodation. So there you go. There is all of the Bath local routes, all of the park and ride routes, and the unibus routes. So there you have it. I will put it back on to sorry, not in service, that's returning to depot. My controller messed up a bit there. So yeah, there you go, we'll put it back on sorry, not in service, and that is the end of the video. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to check out Central Norfolk Productions video on his flip dot display. Thank you again, and I will see you in the next video where we'll probably do some of the rural routes in and around Bath.